Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ryan Stewman here, the Hardcore Closer, and I'm going to share a sales lesson with you that your sales manager's not going to be able to tell you, that the old school sales trainers that you're listening to right now are not going to be able to tell you, because they don't understand the big principle and the big shift that's happening in the marketplace. So we're going to talk about how to build a modern day sales machine. Most people, if you ask, you say, hey, what do you think it takes to make sales? If you just ask the average person on the street, they would say, oh, you got to cold call, you have to door knock, you got to go network with people. And I'm telling you, that's not how it works these days. And I've been saying this for long enough to where I've pissed enough people off in the industry. But I'm telling you, even the folks that are at the top of their game cold calling aren't making a fraction of what my friends are by using this sales machine right here, okay? And the good news is when you set up the sales machine the way that I'm going to teach you today, you don't have to cold call. And guess what? You don't have to talk to anybody that doesn't want to already buy your stuff. You see, here's how the modern day sales machine works. It attracts a prospect, communicates with that prospect, takes the prospect through the steps of the buying process, and the only time, if any, that you have contact with that prospect is if they're ready to give you their credit card, cash, write a check, however it is that you accept payment. You see, so many people right now are trying to fight against this trend when clearly the consumer, which is always in control of the process, right? Which clearly the consumer wants things done this way. And here's what I'm going to have to tell you, because it's a big warning for you, because you got to understand this. I feel bad for you if you don't grasp this. So I'm just going to ask, my wife says, open your mind a little bit and listen to me on this. If you don't start creating this sales machine that I'm about to lay out for you right now, if you don't start creating it right now, your competition is creating it. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Your competition is creating it, or they will create it. And here's the bad news. In the future, when artificial intelligence, when online sales, when all these things that are already coming in full steam at us, artificial intelligence, chatbots, automated emails, all this other stuff, when it's coming full steam at you and you don't have the machine set up, you could be put out of business. However, on the flip side of that, to get back to being all positive and everything, those of you who do follow the instructions that I'm about to share with you will build this machine and prosper in the future. So if you're ready, and you're ready to learn what the machine is, I'm gonna ask that you hit the like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, just hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe. And I check comments, so you can leave comments down there as well. I go down there and I read them at least once a day and make sure that I reply to the ones that matter. Everything else, if you're watching this on Hardcore Closer or on Facebook, leave a comment, hit the like button. Let's get more people to see this. So the first thing that you need in the modern sales machine is social media. Listen, I've been telling people that you can make sales on social media since 2009. That was unheard of 10 years ago. That's how I got the nickname Hardcore Closer. I was trying to convince people that you can make money from Facebook, and people were like, that dude's hardcore, man. It's like, yeah, dude, that guy's a closer too. He's the hardcore closer. That's how it all came about, right? It was because I was having conversations with people where they were mind blown. They didn't understand. Now, fast forward 10 years, we all know the importance of social media. We all know that you can make money from it. We all know that there's guys like Gary Vee and Ty Lopez that have blown up and become like phenomenons and some of the most famous people on the planet because of social media, okay? So when we say you need a social media presence, there's a couple things that you need. You need to identify the right channels. See, for me, the two channels that I use are Instagram and Facebook. I don't consider YouTube really a social media channel, because YouTube's mainly for putting content out there as opposed to engaging with people back and forth, right? That's typically how it's done. People watch a video, they may not say like or subscribe or anything, versus social media where people are trained to interact, right? So there's two channels that I use on social media. Number one is Instagram. Okay, there's two news feeds on Instagram. There's the stories feed, and there's the regular news feed. I make sure that I post one regular news feed post every day, be it a video or a photo, and I make sure I post at least 5 stories every day. Now, mind you, stories are only 15 seconds. So it's easy for me to, take out my phone here and hold the phone up and talk for 60 seconds, and it turns into 4 stories all of a sudden. So it's not that hard to create 5 stories a day on Instagram, okay? But Instagram is a channel that you cannot ignore. It's the fastest social media channel to ever hit 1 billion with a B, right? 1 billion subscribers, the fastest channel ever, and it will surpass Facebook as far as time spent on the social media site this year. That's my prediction. Go ahead and write that shit down because I've been saying it since last year. So the first channels for me is Instagram. Right now, I can post the same thing on Instagram that I can post on Facebook, and Instagram will get 10 times the engagement. The algorithm is that strong over there right now. But you have to understand, Instagram's mainly for branding. Facebook is for building relationships, okay? So if you're gonna have a sales machine, that's gonna have to include social media, and you're gonna have to know the difference that's going on between each channel. So the second one is gonna be Facebook. Now, for me, I have a few things that I do on Facebook. And now listen, I know right now you're going, dude, he's already talking about 5 stories a day on Instagram plus 1 post a day on Instagram. That's 6 posts. Now he's talking about Facebook. Like, dude, I got a job to do. Wake up a little bit earlier, just a little bit. It doesn't take long to do this. I told you 5 posts is like literally 1 minute and 15 seconds. You know, you can post something to Instagram while you're using the bathroom or waiting in the doctor's office or something like that. That's how I maximize my time. Instead of sitting around twiddling your thumb or scrolling the feed, make the most of the time intentionally while you're there. So with Facebook, there's 3 places that I'm on Facebook on a daily basis, because if we're gonna make sales these days, we have to be omnipresent. That means that we have to be everywhere the prospect is at all times, or they'll simply forget. It's not that they don't wanna buy our stuff. It's not that they don't think you have a great product. They just simply forget. And so we have to be in front of them over and over again so that they don't forget, so that they're reminded. So when it's an opportune time for them to go in their back pocket and pull out their wallet and make a payment to us, we're right there in front of them. If not, out of sight, out of mind, you're disregarded, right? So on Facebook, I'm gonna be in 3 places in front of them. First of all, I've got my personal profile, the real Ryan Stewman profile. I'm gonna make sure that I'm posting at least a couple times every single day. And if I look right now, let me pull out my old trusty mobile phone with the closer strap here. We call that the closer clip. So on average, I'm making 3 posts a day, but still on Facebook, when there are a lot of times people are saying Facebook's dying, Facebook's dying. I posted 4 hours ago, and my last post has 159 likes, and I have 35,000 on my personal page, right? Counting followers and friends, okay? So those are still good numbers. That's a lot of exposure. The second place that I'm at every single day is I'm on the Hardcore Closer fan page, my business fan page. Okay, a lot of you neglect your business fan page because you don't see people engaging that much, but it still doesn't mean that people aren't lurking. People typically go to a business fan page and don't engage, they scan and look. They click links instead of clicking likes, right? So you got to know the difference in the human behavior when they go to your fan page, but that doesn't mean that you can ignore it. So first of all, you got your profile, fan page, and the last thing is a group. If you are not a moderator, an admin, or an owner of a Facebook group, you are missing out at a great time. Right now, it's like the Facebook gods looked down on us and went, I'm gonna hook you group people up. If you're a group leader, I'm gonna hook you up, because we got the only place where there's no ads. We have the best edge rank, which is the way that you get in the news feed of Facebook. We have the biggest engagement, like right now I've got my phone. Let's just not rectally extract numbers here. Let's just look and see what it is. But right now in the Sales Talk with Sales Pros group, we have 80,000 members, a little bit shy, about 100 people shy of 80,000. And in the last 28 days, there has been 104,000 post, comment, and reactions from the members. So 104,000 according to Facebook stats right here inside the group. So that's 104,000 actions inside my group where I'm the admin and I've gotten to brand myself. Okay, listen, you might think, well, my group's boring. Nobody's gonna wanna be a part of any group that I start. I've got a guy named Thomas Keenan who's a personal client of mine. He's one of my personal coaching clients, and he runs a GPS installer business. Pretty freaking boring. His clients are AT&T and Verizon, right? And all they do is they install these little black boxes on cars that are fleet cars so that they can track them. He's located up in New York. Well, I tell Thomas to go ahead and start a Facebook group and start cultivating these people together and become the influencer in his industry. And he's an action taker. He's not one of those guys who really questions someone like me. He's like, dude, I'll just do whatever you said. Dude, his group is on fire. They have thousands of members. Who knew that all these GPS tracking installers wanted to click up and have conversations? And his group's one of my favorite groups on Facebook. And I'm not even a GPS tracking installator, right? I think that's an installator. I like installator better. We're gonna go with that. So it doesn't matter what your business is. If there's other people in your business, or if there's other people that you can cater to, or your clients or whatever, you should start a Facebook group around that. Those are the 3 places you have to be on Facebook. So there's 2 places you have to be on Instagram. You have to be in the story feed and the news feed. There's 3 places you have to be on Facebook. You have to be in the personal profile, your business profile, and a Facebook group. Okay, so that concludes what you need to build the social media. We just getting started. That's the social media aspect of the modern day sales machine, okay? The next thing is you're gonna need data. Okay, so what do I mean by data? Let's switch this over to make it a little bit more colorful. We're using black, that's really colorful. So here's what I know about data. See, most people that are just getting started in the business, they'll say leads. You need more leads. Hey, we got to get more leads. We're generating leads. Those of us that have matured and understand really how the lead gen game is played, we call it data, right? Because whether someone gives you their name, email address, and phone number, or whether I can collect their name, email address, phone number, their IP address, their GPS location, things that they've also liked on Facebook, which we can do all of that here at Break Free Academy. We teach it in our programs. Think about that. Once I can really get inside of the head of my prospect, then I can find more things to sell them that'll make their life better. Think about Amazon does the greatest job of this. When you buy a cowboy jersey, they offer you a stool with a noose so you can hang yourself, because we fucking always seem to lose games around here, right? Because Amazon knows. They know that the Cowboys can't win for shit. All right, get it together, Ryan. I really like the Cowboys. Huge fans. Been struggling the last few years, especially I got a few friends that used to play for the Patriots. That's kind of annoying. Got 2 clients that are Super Bowl winners, and every time they come to Dallas, they got to just rub it in my face, right? Like I'm the one that's out there throwing interceptions all the time like Romo did for 10 years. But sorry about that. All right, back to the story here. So we got to start collecting data, right? So that we know what we can offer them. We know that if they just bought a car and we sell furniture, or if they just bought a house and we sell furniture or cars, we want to offer them, hey, know that you just bought a car. Here's an opportunity to buy some furniture or car stereo or GPS tracking, for example, right? And so, but without the data, we have nobody to go to. Here's the thing. According to The Economist, which is a really fancy magazine, according to The Economist, data is the world's most valuable resource. Prior to data becoming the world's most valuable resource, the world's most valuable resource was oil. Okay, but oil, you extract it from the ground. It's very expensive to do. Then you have to refine, you have to take care of it, you have to transport it. And then when you burn it once, it's gone forever, right? With data, it's something that we collect and we mine. Similar to oil, can be expensive to mine. It might cost a lot of money to generate the data that you need from paid media, right? But in the meantime, once you collect the data once, you can sell it a $10 product, then a $50 product, then another $5 product, then a $100 product. You know, once Amazon collected our data, I buy my groceries there, I buy my books there, I buy my clothes there, I buy my shoes there, I bought this shirt there. I mean, everything that I could possibly need is on Amazon, and they're making great suggestions because they have my data. That's the modern sales machine. I mean, we can all admit that Jeff Bezos is the greatest salesperson of all time. Who else you know that's done $1 trillion in sales in less than 20 years? Well, I can tell you, you don't know anybody because ain't nobody ever done this shit before. So, right? So if this guy has outsold all of us by creating this machine, don't you think it's a good idea that we follow in suit? Because if he comes and tries to sell the people in your audience or in your marketplace or in your industry or niche, you're out of luck. Unless you've collected data, then you can sell your list of data to Amazon and politely bow the fuck out because there's no way you can whoop them, right? You can't beat them, join them. This is your way to join them. But what do you do with data? So if we're going to create a machine in the meantime to combat Amazon, what do you do with data? Well, first of all, you got to collect emails so that you can constantly communicate with them. I send out, when someone opts into our email list, we send out 3 emails in the first 3 days. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And then we hit you up once a week after that. If you haven't already made that decision the first 3 days, we go sell, sell, sell 3 days, and then we just once a week value. Every now and then we'll hit you with the sale blitz again, but that's my process, right? But without an email, without collecting that data, there's no way I can constantly have that conversation. The next thing is text messages, because I'm gonna be real with you. We only get about 20% of our emails read. It's a pain in the ass, right? Spam, Google's got extra promotion folders and all sorts of shit. Hell, sometimes I don't even see my own emails, okay? But here's what I know. Text gets seen 90% of the time, okay? So when you get a text message, you're like, oh, still got that you've got mail feeling, right? And so what happens is people are reading their text. So when you're collecting name, email, and phone number as your data that you're collecting, you can have a conversation with them via text as well. Boom, you're hitting them up via text, knowing that there's a 90% chance here and a 20% chance here, okay? It's all part of your machine. You don't abandon the social media for the data. That's not how you do it. You don't abandon the social, this is all part of the machine. You gotta have both of them, right? This is a brake and a gas. You're gonna need both of them if you're gonna operate a vehicle, okay? So the next thing, so you got emails, texts, and you can get their mailing address so that you can send them letters. Yes, letters still work, postcards still work if you do it correctly. It can be very expensive, but if someone's opted into your funnel and you've collected their data, and then the same branded thing sends like if someone opts in to check out and apply for Apex Entourage, and then we send them a FYE chip in the mail, right? They know that FYE is the Entourage mantra. That's a lot to take in there. The Entourage mantra, they know this, right? And so the branding's on point, and so it sticks out to them. You see the process, right? As long as your branding's on point, direct mail works as well, okay? You're gonna collect their name, right? You're gonna know their name. A person's name is like the sweetest thing ever. Like, let me give you an example. It's the greatest sound to our ears ever. When I'm sitting at my event last week through an event, we had about 600 people here. When the speakers were on stage and they mentioned me, it still felt good even though it was my event, right? Because we love the sound of our own name. So communicating with this person, which you can pre-program into pretty much any autoresponder, communicating with your data and using their name in the emails, using their name in the text, it's like, hey, Ryan, would you like to check out this? Hey, Ryan, here's some value that I would love to add to your life. Hey, Ryan, it just has that smooth sound, that personalized feel, even though we know it's machine learning. So you've got data that you've got to collect. The next thing is you have to go full contact with your advertising. And when I say full contact with your advertising, it's like, hey, when people see you on social media, that's cool. Now people are seeing you in their email, but you need to follow them through the entire internet. And this completes the machine right here. There's something called the Google Display Network, and then there is the Facebook Ads Network, okay? And so the Google Display Network is pretty much the entire internet that has AdSense on it. It's like 98% of everything that's gonna be indexed on Google anyway. And so when a client comes over here, they bounce into your funnel, they give you their data. Any website they go that is a Google Display Network affiliate, which is pretty much all of them, they're gonna see your ad. Ever gone to a website looking at like a diamond ring or a watch or something like that, and the next thing you know, you're getting emails from them, they're following you around the internet, every site you go to, and the typical person goes, damn, they must have a hell of an advertising budget. They're everywhere. But what's really happening is it's a very tiny advertising budget following you, specialized because of the data. Okay, I want you to put all that together. But you need to have that as well. Retargeting campaign is super cheap because you've already got the traffic and it's the most interactive, but you have to have it through Google and on Facebook, because every time you're on Facebook mobile and you click a link and a website comes up, Facebook runs ads on those websites. Those aren't independent ads on those websites. Those are Facebook embedded ads. So you can totally make your sales machine omnipresent. Okay, so look, you're everywhere on social media that your prospects are. You're collecting their data, and all of a sudden you're texting them, emailing them. And I know what some of you are thinking. It's like, dude, you're probably bothering the shit out of them. Not if I'm delivering value, not if I'm not texting them nonsense, not if I'm not emailing them nonsense, not if my ads are nonsense. I'm offering them value every step of the way. And then I'm omnipresent by retargeting the people that are a part of all of this, which you can even upload your data to Google and Facebook, and it'll advertise to the list that you've already generated. That's the beautiful thing about the Google Display Network and the Facebook Ads Network, okay? So you can auto-retarget everybody. So let's go through the next little step here of the sales machine, and I'll outline it for you, okay? So the modern day sales machine, it's gonna look something like this. You're gonna have a post on social media, okay? So there's some kind of post that you make on social media. It could be a video, could be a picture, doesn't matter. And in that post, there's a call to action that drives them somewhere that collects their information, right? We call this a landing page. If you don't already have a landing page, you can go over to phonesites.com. That's phonesites.com. And you can sign up for a free trial. You can get 2 weeks. You can build your own funnels, landing pages, everything else, and you can try this process out completely for free. Okay, but once the landing page has happened, they've collected the information, the landing page is gonna make them an offer, right? It's like, let's say we're targeting bald people. The offer would be how to grow hair. They opt in, they watch a video or get a book or whatever it is on how to grow hair. Well, now at this point, we've collected their data. So at this point, we can enter this into the Google Display Network, the Facebook Ads Network. We can start sending them emails. We can start sending them text, right? We can use their name, all those things that I talked about, and you can set all that stuff up on autopilot. And when they watch the video here, let's say that the video is for some Rogaine, right? You want to learn to grow hair, you just take some Rogaine. So when they click this right here, it takes them over to the sales page, which sells them Rogaine, which for whatever the hell Rogaine costs, okay? But let's say that they don't buy this. You've got the data to be able to advertise them to come back here. This is the sales machine, right? Step 1, get their attention. Step 2, call them to action. Step 3, collect their information. Step 4, give them what you promised them. Step 5, sell them something that they would most likely like. Step 6, if they don't buy, keep following up with them until they do buy. Step 7, collect their money. Step 8, sell them something else. That's the beautiful part about the modern day sales machine. So while the rest of you are out there spending your time cold calling and everything else, if you just take a couple steps back and set up a process like this, then you've got true power moves and a sales machine that'll get you into the future. And guess what? It's just like anything else. In the beginning, what you set up's probably going to suck. Let's just be honest, right? If you're not a computer whiz, if you're not a modern day sales expert like myself, it's probably going to suck. But guess what? The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. My first funnel sucked. But now I have multiple 2 comma plaques because I know how to get down with the funnels now because I have practiced. So in the beginning, probably nobody's gonna see your freaking offers anyway, so you're safe. And then by the time you do get good, people actually start seeing your offers because you will have practiced. But you gotta get this process down because I'm telling you, the giants in the industry are using artificial intelligence to squash us salespeople. And if we don't join them, as opposed to trying to beat them, which we can't do, if we don't join them, we're gonna be left behind. If you'd like to know more stuff like this, if you like to be surrounded by a group of people who get this stuff, who are doing it, who are implementing it, and who have the mindset of winners, who represent what winning looks like at all times, and who are chasing the most elite versions of themselves on a daily basis, you can apply to be a part of our network. We don't just accept anybody, but you can apply by going to BFA, that's like Break Free Academy, BFAentourage.com. You can go and you can click the button there and fill out the application. Again, that's at BFAentourage.com. We'll catch you on the next video.